I think we're going to get started, guys. Hopefully there'll be some more people show up. Good morning. This is the 40th CALLERLAB convention in Cary, North Carolina. Today's date is March 25th. Is that right? 26th. Erase that tape. It's March 26th. My name is Randy Dougherty. I'll be your panelist, your moderator, and whatever today. The description that we sent to CALLERLAB's home office for this session says a brief history of choreographic management. And we probably should have labeled it something a little different. I have handouts for all of you, so don't bother taking notes today. Everything I'm going to be talking about is in there, pretty much. There are some other little tidbits that I'll add. I'll tell you if it's not on the handout, that kind of thing. Okay? First of all, a little bit of history about myself. I've been in the business almost 50 years, and I started when I was 2. So, and I've worked in the RV parks for the last 20, 25 years, almost 30 years in the RV parks. And I travel during the summer months all across the globe. I do a lot of foreign calling. I've been in about a dozen different foreign countries, so I know what's going on over there, and as well as traveling through the United States. So I call probably about, I'm guessing, 400 to 500 dances a year. So I'm calling sometimes 2 or 3 times a day during the winter season. Okay. I'm going to kind of read this because you don't have the handout in front of you. Hopefully they're making copies and are going to get them to us before the end of the session. And there was a new term that was kind of coined in the 60s, and it was hot hash. And it almost revolutionized square dancing. In the early 50s, most of the callers protected their material and did not share it, did not give it out. They were very protective of their choreography. And they did mainly routines, memorized routines. And we're talking things like 9-pin, dip for the oyster, dive for the clam, Virginia reel. Some of the dances that went to those dances by those callers knew the routines as well as the caller did. And then we kind of got into what I call traveling squares a little bit later, where couple 1 do this, and couple 2 repeat what couple 1 did, and couple 3 repeat what those 2 couples did previous. And by the time you got to couple 4, they had watched the routine 2 or 3 times, and so you could almost have new dancers in immediately because they'd put the most inexperienced couple in couple 4's position. And the caller didn't dare change the routine. So, for instance, it might say couple 1, lead to the right and circle up 4. All the way around, leave couple 2 at home, go on to couple 3, circle up 4. Leave couple 3 at home, go on to 4, circle 4. Go back home and everybody swing, and then he'd do maybe a little middle break, and he'd have all the ladies chain over and back or whatever. And then he'd repeat that with couple 2. And like I said, the dancers did not want to have that caller try to trick them or improvise something on the fly. That was not what they wanted back in the 50s and the early 60s, okay? So if I said something like couple 4, by the time I'd done 1, 2, and 3, and I said couple 4, lead to the right, circle up 4, take that couple with you and go to the next couple and circle up 6, dancers didn't like that. You were trying to trick them, okay? But then in the early 60s, the flood of calls that came into all the note services and stuff was just astronomical. There was 30 calls written every month that came to the note services. And one man alone pretty well started the revolution, and his name is Lee Cotman. Lee Cotman has written probably 60% of our calls that we have now on either mainstream or plus or advance. And I just sat down with Lee yesterday and talked about a few of them. He has written on the mainstream list, Scoot Back, Recycle. else did he do off the mainstream? I think that was about it on the mainstream. Of course, Lee's forte is advance and challenge. So when you go into the advanced stuff and the plus stuff, he wrote linear cycle, coordinate, roll, cut the diamond. Would you mind handing those out, or do you have time, Donna? Thank you. He wrote chain reaction, transfer the column, right roll to a wave, left roll to a wave, lock it, mix, cast a shadow, peel and trail, split, counter, rotate, motivate, pass and roll, scoot and weave, slip, slides, and swings. He wrote a lot of material. And when you go to the next program, he wrote even more. So he was kind of a standalone type guy. Don Beck wrote like Ferris wheel. Some of you were at a session yesterday, and the history behind Ferris wheel, how he wrote that call and did not know what to call it, is kind of an interesting story. He sent it to many different note services, and he was asking for suggestions for a name, and he couldn't come up with one. And finally he wrote to Bill Peters, and Bill said he gave him some weird name, and Don kind of rejected it, like Take Me Along or something. I don't remember what it was. And Don was going to call it Circus Wheel. And so he finally changed it to Ferris Wheel, and that stuck. And that's a little bit of history of that call. Don also wrote the Ping Pong Circulate. Ping Pong Circulate was one of the first calls that set up our quarter tag setups with the heads past the ocean type of a formation. And Lee wanted to be able to change formations from one formation to another formation. So he wrote a call called All 8 Recycle. Now this is way before we had mainstream recycle or even the A2 recycle. He wrote a call called All 8 Recycle, and that's the background to that. He was changing it from a quarter tag to a different quarter tag. He had the wave people elongate their recycle, and that's where the mainstream version came from. And then the advanced version was the outside couples would step in and do a face-to-face recycle. And that 4 or 5 years down the road became how we got mainstream recycle and the advanced recycle. Okay? Let's see what else I have here. Did y'all all get the handout? Okay? I know what I forgot. Hold on. Getting old. A lot of people thought the hot hash movement, they kind of developed their own style of hot hash calling, and a lot of callers thought it's speed the record up, make the tempo instead of 122 or 124 that we're used to nowadays, to where they'd speed it up to 132, 134 beats a minute, and they made the dancers almost run through the routines to get them done. Or they clip time. Everybody understand what I mean when I say clip time? Clip timing is like you say head square through 4, and then in the next breath do a right and left through with the outside 2. Instead of giving them 10 beats to do it, they gave them 3 beats to do it, or 4 beats. So for the dancers to be able to dance to somebody that was clipping time, they all of a sudden had to keep a storage revolving computer up here saying, when I get done with the square through, I got to do a right and left through, and then I got to do a veer left, and then I got to do a Ferris wheel. And the caller was making them run to try to keep up. Yesterday, some of you were in that modular session, and we had to, with the invent of all the new calls coming, we had to invent some ways of shortening up all the memory routines, because callers could not remember all the different possibilities of the calls. And so we broke it down where we had modules, and underneath modules we talked about equivalents, zeros, get them going, knowing we invented words that were formations, arrangements, sequence, relationships. We talked about that yesterday in that one session called phaser or phaser. But basically it was get them going or get them into a formation, knowing what the formation was, do some calling, and then get them out with a get out. Okay? On page 2 there, it describes the R, the F, the A, the S, and the R. And today I'm basically going to talk about the R's and the S's, the relationships and the sequences. Most callers are concerning themselves with the first two things, the formations and the arrangements, which is good, especially if you're a sight caller. You got to know what formation you start in and what formation it ends in. But some of the stuff I'll give you today, all you really need to know is sequence and who your relationship is. Is it your partner you have? Is it your corner you have? Is it your right-hand lady? And so on. All right. Underneath the modules, like I said, we have equivalents and zeros. They touched on some zeros yesterday, and technical zeros achieve a zero effect while interchanging ends and centers and possibly a four ladies chain effect. There's some examples of the technical zero on page 3. From a zero line, do a right and left through, a pass through, and a bend the line. You still have a zero line, but you now, instead of having the ends that were ends now, are now going to be centers after that. So you interchanged ends to centers and centers to ends. Underneath technical zero, there's a couple other ones. They called it they called it invert and rotate yesterday. The star through, the pass through, the bend the line, the star through. If you were the heads and you did a square through 4, you're now in the middle looking at the corner on the outside. What the invert and rotate does is put the heads on the outside, and it changed the axis from north south to east and west, and had the heads now be on the outside. And a little bit later we'll demonstrate that with some dancers. Another part of keeping track of the modular calling was doing conversions. And they talked about the magic module, which moved from zero box to a zero line, or vice versa. And this magic module had the AC-doocy effect to it. It was a swing through, girls circulate, boys trade, boys run, bend the line. We've coined that phrase, the magic module, because it goes from zero box to zero line. And if you put a star through in front of it or at the end of it, it also works and goes from a zero line to a zero box. Something magical about it. Okay? And there's some other examples of conversions there. The last one there, you'll see where it says ZL to a Z box. Touch a quarter, all 8 circulate, boys run. That's a conversion. The next little topic there, part of, is a coin that I a phrase that I coined, and it's called ambidextrous. And it says calls that can start with right hands can also start with the left. And things that go clock can go counterclock. Things that you normally do that is considered the right way, you can do it the wrong way, like right and left grand, wrong way grand, stuff like that. You'll notice underneath the ambidextrous, the one that was at the end of the conversions, it's the same thing but done left-handed. So it was a left touch a quarter, all 8 circulate, and the girls run. Okay? Calls that go clockwise can go counterclock. So if you're in a zero box and went to a zero line, do the AC-doocy effect, but use it left-handed. So you do a left swing through, and the ends circulate, and the centers trade, and the centers run and bend the line. You did another conversion, but you did it ambidextrously. Okay? Can we get a square up, and we'll kind of demonstrate some of the things we've talked about? I'd like to have 4 girls, if we have 4 girls in here. I think we do. And 4 guys. From this point on, guys, any questions you have, raise them up right now. We'll get them on the microphone. You feel free to interrupt, ask questions as we perform. Try not to take a whole lot of notes, just more or less pay more attention here. Okay? So if I was the caller standing over on this side, here's my couple 1. I might use them as my primary couple. So talked about chicken plucker yesterday at the module session. And let's just review quickly the chicken plucker. Head, step to the middle, and face your corner. Okay. So I know that this is the primary couple. This is my secondary couple if I was sight calling. Okay. The chicken plucker, do a right and left through. You want me to switch it for you? Well, I kind of like the black couple, though. They were matched up for me, okay? Now, we used to do dive through and pass through. Of course, we've replaced that with pass through and trade by. So do a pass through, and a trade by. That was a half a plucker. Notice the guy went from over there, now he's over here. Track him as he goes. Do a right and left through. Go ahead and raise your hand for me, Ed. Pass through, trade by. There he is over there. Okay? Take the right and left throughs out. It's still a chicken plucker. Pass through, trade by, pass through, trade by. See, I just left the right and left throughs out. The pass through trade by is what we considered a technical zero. Okay? A technical zero will always work, and it's usually always like a half zero. If we say pass through and trade by, would you do that? Can I call Alaman left from here? I can if I know the formation, who they're with, and everything else. I haven't changed the phaser. The formation thing is still the grid system. I still have everyone's in sequence. This is couple number, you're number 1 gent, but this is number what lady? 3 lady. You're 4 man, and you're the what? 4 lady. Okay? If I say Alaman left with the one in front, let's do it. Everybody do a right and left grand. But on your third hand, promenade. I knew that pass-through trade by is a technical zero. Had a 4-lady effect to it. Okay? And so they're back home. So here's my new primary couple. So now you guys are all callers. And now you're with me instead of being flip-flop and looking at it from a dancer point of view. Okay? So now you're my secondary, and this is my... All right? What if we wanted to get to a corner line? A corner line is a line of 4. It's kind of like a zero line, but a zero line is with your partner. Corner line is with your corner. Question, Bob? I don't want you to repeat what I said, so let's circle 4 or circle 8 halfway. Then I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. And of course, you want to pick a couple that you can remember, either color-wise, tall, glasses, beard, somehow, so you know who your sight callers are. If you're a sight caller, you got to remember those kinds of things. Modular calling is really going to be great if you can do the dancing part of it and use some other systems, either crams, using burnt imagery, using mental imagery. You can use all of those other kinds of calling and then combine it back to the modules, okay? Let's have you head step to the middle, face your corner. We did invert and rotate. Here's my head couple here. He's on the inside. I'm going to put him on the outside by doing invert and rotate. Star through, pass through, bend the line, slide through. He's still got his partner, but he went from being on the inside. He's now, and the axis changed. So now we're looking this way, aren't we? Can he do an Alaman left? Yep, perfectly. Pass through, trade by. That's a half zero. If I do it again, pass through, trade by, I'm back to a zero box. Pass through, trade by. Alaman a left with your left hand. Right about now, they think that you've screwed up. Do a right and left grand. But on the third hand, face in, and are you home? Okay? Let's do a zero line. Let's have the heads lead to the right, veer left, couples trade, bend the line. This is called a zero line. He's got his partner. This is his corner. This is her partner. A zero line. A technical zero, go forward, up, and you come way back. Bend the line just like that. You took him from a center now to a what? An end. So that's a technical zero. Simple as that. This is going to be another technical zero. Instead of being on the end now, he'll become the center. But the formation, the arrangement, the sequence, and the relationship will not change. Do a right and left through. Pass through and go forward, out, and come on back. And bend the line. Still a zero line. It's a technical zero. He went from being on the end to being in the center now. Okay? Any questions so far? Anybody want to ask anything? Ready to get into some deeper stuff? Let's do a conversion. A conversion is going to take it from the zero line, to a zero box. Touch a quarter. circulate, boy run. I'm at the 0 box. But notice that before I had the grid this way. Now I got the grid this way. The north and south and east and west axis got changed around. Okay? Let's do the magic module. Swing through. In, circulate, centers trade. Centers run. Bend the line. Went from 0 box to what? 0L. Okay? I'm going to use the conversion and do it ambidextrously. All right? Star through. The magic module. Left swing through. In, circulate. Centers trade. Centers run. Bend the line. If I did the star through in the beginning, I got to do it at the, so do a slide through. And look at that. Went back to the 0 box. Okay? Now, you can do this and control all these kinds of different things if you also keep track of the quadrants that they're dancing in. I'm going to invert rotate, but I'm not going to do star through, pass through, bend the line, star through. Equivalents. What's an equivalent to star through and pass through? He says half square through. Let's do that. Half square through. He knows that that's an equivalent. All I got to do is to bend the line now. Bend it. Slide through. We inverted and rotated. Okay? Step 2, a wave. I know this will work because I've got him what I call a flip-flop box. He normally stands over there. Now he's over here. He's in a flip-flop box. He's holding on to his corner. Watch this. Okay? Good luck. All 8 circulate once and 9/16. And face in and you're home. Now that's a neat little get out. And the dancers are going to kind of, I don't know what 9/16 is. You can use 5/8 if you want. Okay? Here's another one. I'm going to do a flip-flop box. Heads promenade wrong way, halfway. Anybody ever call that? If you don't call it, they'll forget it. If you don't call it once in a while, they're not going to remember that. Sides, step to the middle. Face your new corner. Say, hello, new corner. Step 2, a wave. So this is my get in. My get in was flip-flop the box and get an across the street box after that. This is not his corner. This is his what? Right hand lady. All right. All 8 circulate once and a half. Slide through. How come that didn't work? Sides do a right and left through. And it worked, right? That's not what it was supposed to do. Let me try that again. Did you guys wrong way promenade half? Okay, do the opposite this time. This will work better this time. Oh, I know. I didn't start with the flip-flop box. Okay, so I still need to have the sides do a right and left through. And now I'm going to do the 0 box thing. Touch a quarter, and the side men run around the girl you touched. Step 2, a wave. Girls trade. Swing through. I'm still going to be out of position here. Swing through. 2 swing throughs always correct everything. Recycle. So I forgot what my darn get out was going to be. I got a flip-flop box, don't I? Have the sides face in. Yep. This is a flip-flop box. Their home is over there. I screwed up and forgot my get out. Okay? Yeah, that's called a flip-flop box because you belong over here originally. They belong over there. I want a flip-flop box. My setup is flip-flop the box. That's what is called a flip-flop square. Okay? Not just the sides, everyone. Now, I want to be everyone across from their home, but instead of being in a 0 box, up here I'm thinking I need a cross the street box. So I'm going to get you in the across the street box, past the ocean. Hopefully it'll work this time. Extend. Girls trade. Swing through. I think I see it developing. All 8 circulate once and an 8th. Face in. You're home. Now, I have hundreds and hundreds of get-outs. I don't have so many get-ins because the get-ins are easy if I just remember what they are. The get-in for that was to flip-flop it and get across the street. Okay? And then my get-out was center trade, swing through, all 8 circulate once and an eighth and face in. I had to predict where they were going to be to make this work out just perfect, okay? Let's try, instead of doing 0 lines, corner lines. Side, step to the middle, face your corner, touch a quarter. Do I have a corner line? No. I got a wave, don't I? Scoot back. Boy, run. Now I do. I got a line. Everyone's got the corner. He's got his corner. Ed's got his corner. Okay? And it doesn't matter if he's on the end or if he's on the center. Right now he's in the what? Center. Do a tactical 0. Do a right and left through. Pass through. Bend the line. He went from being in the center, so now he's on the end. It's easier for me when I put my primary people over here. I can see what I'm going to do, okay? Everyone half sachet, and the ends do half a fold, and you're home, okay? So how can we disguise corner lines instead of always having the head square through 4 and slide through? How can we get to that with equivalents and other ways of doing it, okay? Suggestions, anybody? No, you don't have to read the book. 4 ladies chain 3/4. Who are they going to get, gang? Corner. I'm looking for a corner line in sequence. Heads. Lead to the right. Circle up 4. Make a line. Head, gentleman, break. It's a corner line. He's on the end of it. Bend your line. It's still a corner line. He's in the center of it. It ain't going to do you no good to go to a corner line and dance them around for a bit and then not have a get out. If you don't have a get out, there's no sense going through all of this work and learning what a corner line is, okay? My get out is a simple one. Square through, 3.5 hands. Alamanda left with your corner. She's right there. Promenade in the wrong direction, home. Very smoothly done. All right. Just for the sake of time. So my get out was square through, 3.5. Would I call it that way? Probably not. I could say square through, and on your 4th hand, Alamanda left. Higher percentage of people are going to make that. Okay? What's another way to get to a corner line? Instead of the ladies chain 3/4, instead of having the head square through 4, slide through with your corner. What's another way? Ladies step to the center, but this would be illegitimate because there's no motion going. But dancers will do it. Ladies step to the center, men sachet left. Back out, girls. So now they got the corner, but we're not in a line. Either say new heads or new sides or something to this effect. Okay? Again, it's kind of illegitimate because ladies in or the men in tells you that you got to have momentum. Circle right. Boys step in and the girls sachet. Obviously, these people are callers. Yeah. Okay. Now, circle left a quarter. Are you home? Okay. Again, let's see if you really understand the situation. Okay. Circle left. If I say boys in and the girls sachet, that tells the girls which way the direction is. Circle right, everybody. Boys step in and the girls sachet, and are you home? So that's just got nothing to do with our modular stuff. But anyway, that would get you to the corner, and then you'd get into a line somehow. Okay? Let's try it this way. Circle left. Ladies center and the men sachet. Original head gent and the new partner square through 4. Now remember that you had a corner for a partner when we started this. So up here in my head, I'm thinking I'm in a 0 box right now, even though I'm not looking at my original corner. Okay? So I do the magic module. Swing through, in circulate, centers trade, centers run, bend the line. I hope they're in a line and everyone's got their corner. Are they? Okay. So again, it doesn't do you any good if you don't have some get outs from the corner line. Okay? Circle right, everybody. Ladies center and the men sachet. And circle, keep circling right until you're home. You're there. Okay?
Steve Anderson, Winston-Salem. Any singing call that puts you to your corner and you star through, like if you had, well, I don't know, but I'm just saying heads square through 4. Well, no, okay, let's do the other one. Heads promenade halfway, walk in square through 4, right and left through, pass through, trade by. You know, usually you do a touch a quarter, scoot back right there. But if you star through, you got your corner right there in a line.
He's touching on something you guys should have. If you don't read your singing call figures, you should have hundreds of corner lines. Instead of swinging your corner when you meter, you simply do what when you meter? Slide through. Yep, that'll work too. Okay, that's what I think he was going to say. You do touch a quarter, scoot back, swing corner usually. But instead of swing corner, boy run. Okay? What are some other equivalents of ways to get to a corner line? You should have hundreds of them now that we just told you that any singing call figure that is a normal progression to the corner will work. Anybody got a singing call figure they really love? There's a bunch of them. Can't think of them right now, huh?
Virgil Forbes, Maryland. The easy one. Heads promenade half. Past the ocean. In the center, pass through, slide through.
Are you working with seniors on this particular singing call figure?
Yeah.
Because he just shortchanged, instead of being a 64 beat type progression, he did more like 40 something. 42, okay. Understand? Most singing call figures are going to have you doing a bunch of stuff with a 16 beat promenade after they swing. Okay? So what's 16 taken away from 64? 48. That was probably, like he said, 42. So you look like you got a question. Mike, come over here. Come over here.
Mike Fetting from Anger. I just wanted you to go further so I could see what you were talking about.
Okay, well, we were asking about singing call figures that'll put you to the corner. Can you do a half sashay, gang? And the end, step forward and face in your home, right? Can you see that so quick? I do. Yeah, okay. Watch this. Heads separate. Round 1. I got to a corner line in how many calls? 1. You're always within 2 or 3 calls of getting to any destination you want to go. You might have to think outside the box. How many callers call head separate round 1? And then if they do call that, do they know they're in a corner line? I need you to put it on the mic.
It's not going to be seen or heard. What I really meant is that he did a call, quite impressive as far as I was concerned, and you said he shortened the call. You said, are you working with seniors? And he said, yes. You were expecting something more. I didn't see it. I wanted to see it. If that's all
Most singing call figures are going to have what we call that 48 beat worth of choreography. And then there's usually a swing and a promenade. Because we swing and promenade, usually we're not right here at home. We're either slightly left or right of that quadrant. So it might take them less or more to promenade. But usually it's 16 beats, okay? All right? So I'm in a corner line. I'd like to do some other get-outs from corner lines, okay? This is, there's lots and lots of them. Let me come up here. And again, gang, I don't have everything committed to memory. I know if I'm going to do something, I might have a sheet of paper just off here to the side, and I can take a glance down and I say, oh, I remember this one. Pass through, tag the line, everybody cloverleaf, everybody start looking, go right or left grand. That's kind of cool, isn't it? How many people have used that before? And yet, it is not difficult. The dancers will go right through it. Sides separate round 1. You got a corner line. It'll feel different to the dancers, okay, depending if I have that gent on the end or if I have that gent in the middle. I believe last time, were you in the middle, Ed? Okay. Pass through, tag the line, clover leaf, right and left grand. It felt different, didn't it, Fran? Meet your partner and square your set. So, you know, if you teach relay the deucey, let's say you're teaching and you're doing relay the deucey, and every time you've done a zero box where always the heads were in the middle of the grid, and you say to yourself, I've done my job. You haven't done your job. Yeah, you need to practice with what? The sides in the middle of the grid. Because when you have the side step in and step to the wave and relay the deucey, it's totally new to them. It's the same idea with some of these get-outs. Simply doing the technical zero will put a different feeling to the caller, or to the dancer, I should say. Up here in your mind, doesn't matter. Okay? So, let's change it a little bit. Go to a right-hand lady line. The right-hand lady line is nothing more than getting to the across the street box. Who is Ed's right-hand lady? She's over there across the street. Okay? Heads, square through 2. I'm in the across the street box. Okay? Do a right and left through. Do I have a line? No. How can I get a line? Slide through or star through. I'm in a right-hand lady line. Am I in or out of sequence? I'm in sequence. Are the girls in or out of sequence? They're in. There's always 2 sequence states. Either girls in or out, or boys in or out. And here, everyone's in sequence. My get out is a simple one. Square through 4. Start looking for your original. Give her right to her and pull her by, and the crowd goes crazy. Alaman left. Okay? Same difference now. It'll feel totally different. Side, square through 2. Slide through. I have a right-hand lady line, but now everyone is what? Out of sequence. I can tell that because if I count 1, this should be number 2 lady, but this is the number what? 4 lady. So the girls are out of sequence. How about the men? 1, this is supposed to be number, you're 4. Did you screw up? No, you didn't. You didn't screw up. So everyone is out of sequence. Before I did a square through 4. Just subtract 2 hands. Square through 2. Now check your sequence state. 1, going counterclockwise around the ring. Is this number 2 guy? This is number 3 guy. That's number 4 guy. So now they're in sequence. Okay? Now I just did a square through 2, which is a 1 and then a left. The get out before was a right to your partner pull by. Because these people are already, I've stopped the motion, I probably don't want to use right to your girl and pull by. I just need to say trade by. That's similar to what? Plucking. Chicken plucker. Okay? Let's do a few more right-hand lady lines. Anybody want to call to a right-hand lady line? Stay the way you are, right the way you are. They're in a what? Zero box. In sequence. You can do it really quick. About 2 calls, maybe 3. Anybody want to offer a suggestion? How about you, Jeremy?
Jeremy Butler, Virginia Beach. Okay. Pass through, trade by, star through.
3. Now, all we need to do is find out for my get outs, am I in sequence or out of sequence? 1, 2, 3, 4. The men are in sequence. How about the girls? They are. Okay? So, what's my get out from here? Do you have some other ones? No? Past the ocean. Who does Ed have in his right hand? His what? Right hand lady. Who do you have in your right hand? Right hand lady. He agrees. He's got his right hand lady. All 8 circulate. They no longer have right hand ladies. They all got to have the who? Corner. Okay? If I know I'm in a quarter line, am I in or out of sequence? Out of sequence. Out of sequence. Okay? So, I need to do something that's going to put them in sequence. Okay? If they're dancing plus, explode and right and left through. Right, now they have the corner line. So now I think, do I have a get out for a corner line? Start thinking about it. Past the ocean. Ladies trade and recycle. There's my get out. Alaman left. Jeremy. Don't tell everybody all the answers. Yes. He was talking about how he did that. And there's so many equivalents for other ways of getting to the thing, okay? Remember when we said we were doing the plucker thing? Are you guys getting too tired? Can we continue? Heads, go into the middle. Step 2 and face your corner, okay? I'm going to do chicken plucker, disguising it with plus material, okay? Past the ocean. Can you raise your hand, Ed? Watch where he goes. Explode the wave. Trade by. They're on the grid, aren't they? Do your trade by for me. And he's looking at his right-hand lady. We did half a plucker, okay? Repeat what I just did. It's like a technical zero, so if we do it twice, you'll be right back where we were. Past the ocean, keep your hand up, Ed. Explode the wave, keep your hand up, Ed. Here he goes. Trade by. So you do equivalents at the plus level stuff to make things work for you. You're not learning anything new. Just equivalents. Okay? Let's get to right-hand lady line, half-size shade, and in sequence. John, you want to give it a go? No? Ned? Anybody? Nobody's got any guts. Mike? Yeah, sure. Well, think about what we said. We want to go from the corner to the what? Nobody thinks that way anymore. Nobody cares about relationships. This is what you need to worry about, relationships. If you want to stay married, you better keep your relationship going good. All right. So, let's have you put it on the mic, okay?
Steve Anderson, right and left through. 8 chain 2.
All right, he did an equivalent to our plucker.
And that got him over to his right-hand lady.
Okay. But we want a right-hand lady line, so now what would you call Steve? Let me put that in my... He's in a across the street box. He's looking at his right-hand lady, but I asked for a right-hand lady line, half-size shade, in sequence.
Half-size shade. Slide through and roll away if you want to do so.
Slide through. Hold on to her hand. Roll her away. Is he in a right-hand lady line? Yep. Is he half-size shade? Yep. Is he in sequence? Nope. So all you got to do is pass through and what? Bend the line. Okay? He's there. Center, square through 2. The others, slide through. Those that did a slide through do a partner trade. I just found out all kinds of information right there in 2 calls. Okay? If this was my material I was calling the very first tip, notice a couple of them fudged on slide throughs. So I'm thinking, I'm not going to be able to do the top half of some of my neat get outs. I'm going to have to keep it a little simpler. Okay? So we're in a 0 box, but we're not in sequence, so do a right and left through. Now we're there. Okay? I'm going to get to the right-hand lady as quick as I can, doing what I wanted before. Okay? Pass through, trade by, square through 2. Everybody do U-turn back. Does he have his right-hand lady? Are they in or out of sequence? I screwed up. I want to be what? In. If I bend the line, would that fix it? No, that's not going to fix it. Pass through and bend the line does fix it. Okay? Here we go. Watch this get out. This is in your paper, so don't write it down. Okay? Centers, left square through 4. The ends, Alaman right across. Everyone look for your right-hand lady. Do a left Dixie Grand. Go left. Go right. On the third hand, Alaman left. Come back home, square your set. Pretty neat get out, right? I'll show you the neat get out that you can expand that and have 16 of them. That was just one of the 16, okay? So I was in a right-hand lady line. Let's do it from a 0 line. Can you guys just slide one way or the other and get a 0 line? Perfect. This is the get out. That's the foundation. This is the foundation. Center, square through 4, while the ends, Alaman left. Everyone look for your original. Do a right and left grand. What's the get out? How many calls did it take? No, took 2. It had the centers doing a square through and the ends doing what? Alaman left, okay? And that was from what formation? A zero line. Okay? Let's get to the corner line. Heads go into the middle, face your corner, slide through. They're in a corner line. Okay? Centers square through 4. The ends, Alaman right. Everyone find your corner, pass her by, find your own girl, face in, you're home. Okay, that didn't work the best. Let's do it again. I now remember what my get out is. Heads go into the middle, face your corner, slide through. I needed to be half size shade to do my 2-call get out. Box the net. Pass through. Bend the line. Bend the line. I'm in a corner line. I'm half size shade. I'm in sequence. My get out is the ends doing an Alaman right because I'm going to do ambidextrous. The centers before did a square through 4, and now I'm going to have the centers do a left square through 4. Go, centers. The ends, Alaman right. Everyone start looking for your corner and Alaman left. It was worrying about handedness. So all I did was just put a left square through in it because I know they go left, right, so the next hand was what? An Alaman left for the handedness. Question over here, Steve.
Do you use Alaman right when you call, or would you just call turn through on that?
Depending on if I, want to make sure the dancers have complete success, I usually use Alaman right, but I might not. Watch this again. I'll do the same sequence. Side, step to the middle, face your corner, touch a quarter, lady run. They're all in sequence. They're half size shade, corner line. Okay? The get out was the ends, Alaman right, centers left square through how many? Wait, I'm just getting you to think about it. Okay? So that's my get out. The ends, Alaman right, usually. Centers left square through 4. Everybody look for the corner. Now, what's an equivalent to the right hand Alaman? He said, turn through. Be good. But watch what happens here. This is for caller entertainment value, not for dancer entertainment value. Here we go. Centers left square through 4. The ends make a right hand 2-handed star. They're good. Alaman left your corner. Most of the time when I call that, and I don't care what level it is, I see people do this. They put both hands up. They don't realize a 2-hand star is 2 people, 1 hand each. Heads with the one you're facing, right hand, 2-hand star, once around. Face in and you're home. When you're doing your beginner stuff, simple choreography like that is what's going to reemphasize what a star is. Head couples and number 2 man make a left-hand star. Are you a head couple over there, sir? Oh, okay. Let me repeat that. Head couples and the side number 2 gent, is that what I said? Head couples and the number 2 gent left star. You got 5 people in a star. It's not hard choreography. You're going to make people listen to you. They're going to learn how to do listening. Okay? That's the most important part of the first night, is get them to listen. With stars and circles, you can do all kinds of simple choreography and use modules and never really do an Alaman left all night long. Never have to if you know how to do stars. Everyone face your partner, right hand star. Once around. Look for your corner lady, make a left hand 2-handed star. Face in, you're home. Do those kinds of things, okay? Here's what I was talking about for... Yeah. But that's going to help re-emphasize rights and lefts and so on. Okay? That helps. Anything. I have bought the rubber surgery gloves, and then I put them on the people, and I put L in the palm, right on this one, and that helps people. And you can't just isolate 1 or 2 people when you do that. You got to have the whole square do it. Otherwise, you're picking on somebody. So anything that you can do to get them to remember what's the left. I've put boxing gloves on each left hand of the guys before so that they can remember that's my left. Okay? Let me look and see where we're at now in our discussion. in the middle of page 4, about halfway down, it says 4 major half lines out of sequence would be, and then we've got some neat little get outs there. Okay, it says go to a 0 line. Can you guys make a 0 line? Do a right and left through. Do a half sachet. That's the setup. The setup was 0L and then 2 calls, right and left through and half sachet. This is my get out. Past the ocean and a right and left grand. Just do the calls you want to do. All right, promenade home. Yeah, they're just suggestions anyway. All right. Again, get a corner line as quick as you can. It's going rather well, don't you think? I want a corner line, not a half sashayed corner line. Thank you very much. All right. And you can't do that with your dancers. You can't say, get a corner line and expect them to get there. Okay? So my get out is, this was the get in thing. We've got a corner line. We're in sequence. The get out is box the net, drop away, past the ocean, boys are in the middle, extend the tag, and right and left grand. Don't do it, though. Just face in. Right-hand lady line. Okay? I'll get you there quick. Head square through 2. Everybody square through 2. Everyone partner trade. They're in a right-hand lady line. I'm set to go. They're in sequence. The get out is right and left through, half sachet, past the ocean, all 8 circulate once and a half, and the get out is what? Right, left grand. Don't do that. Let's say, just boys, check out your left-hand star. See it? Put your hand in there. Touch your partner. If you don't tell them that, they won't make it very far, okay? See your star, boys? Forget it. Swing through. Turn to girl. She makes a star. Turn it half for the swing through. You don't move up, okay? Right here, you're done. Okay? All the girls, trade across. Turn your star halfway more. You got a new guy, halfway. Okay? All 8 swing through, half right. Boys, make your star, half. Boy, run around the girl. Are the boys pretty close to their home quadrant? Yep. Chain down the lines. And you're home. Okay? Now, was that sight calling or was that modular calling? It was a little bit of both. I was checking to see where he was at the last moment. I couldn't do chain the line and keep him over there. I needed to bring him back over here where he lived, okay? There's one more that's on there, and it's the OL, pass through, you turn back past the ocean, all 8 circulate, right and left grand. I'm not going to demonstrate that one. Yes, hold on.
Virgil Forbes, as long as you were playing in advance with the all 8 swing through.
Consider that advance, even though I call it. If I teach my dancers correct, they know it's a right half and a left half.
Roger that. But that's a place where, excuse me, rather than chain down the line, I might have done an all 4 couples flutter wheel.
Yep. Will you get a mainstream crowd through that? I think you can. Sure. Yeah. All the ladies chain across. Okay. Barbara, do you remember what I called the flip-flop box was? Okay, sides do a right and left through. Heads do a right and left through. All right, I got the girls at the home positions, don't I? But I got the men flip-flopped. All 8 flutter wheel. Girls make a right star. Get your guy. Take him with you. He's a kicking and a screaming. And are you home? That's what Virgil was talking about. Okay? The one that has the big bold print, that's a module. And it says the following 2 sequences are modules that we're going to use from lines. And I did this last year at the convention, but I've got a whole bunch more that are on the CD or should be on the CD. And also, I think it's on the following 2 pages. Let's look at the very first one. To make the module, The module is boys extend, swing through, center two boys trade, center boys run, new center boys hinge. The get out was one call, Alaman left. To get to that, I got to know what the get in is. The get in is a zero line. Get a zero line quick. You're done. All right. Boys extend. Here's my module. Swing through. Center two boys trade. Center two boys run right. New center two boys hinge. Wake up, girls. The get out is what? Alaman left. Promenade. Have you done that one? Yeah. Have you done the other one that's ambidextrous to it? Yeah. Sure, let's give it to them. Get a zero line, quick. Okay, so the ambidextrous, instead of having the boys extend, is what? Girls extend. You got a lefty wave. Left swing through. Centers trade. Center girl run. New center girl hinge. I can't really do Alaman left very easily because these two girls have their right hand closest to the corner. So I have to add a little more to get it to really get success. Center two girls at hinge spread way apart. Now, if I don't want to use the word spread, I can say girls slide apart. Maybe they'll make it. Alaman left. Square your set. Okay? And there's all kinds of neat ways to get to those get outs. Okay? You can do it from the right hand lady line. 4 ladies chain a quarter. Who would I got? Right hand lady. Can you get a right hand lady line looking in? These guys are getting really good. Okay? Okay. Well, practice, make yourself practice where you're doing something, where you're watching you do a lady caller sight calling effect where you watch the girl, okay? I asked Dee Dee, I said, my sister Dee Dee, she calls a lot of hash, and I asked her, I said, do you watch the ladies when you're calling or do you watch the men? And she says, I don't know. No, she didn't say that. She watches the men, though. She watches the men. Because almost all of the preparation, all the work that we put into it, we're talking to men callers because we're so biased. So the girls have to interpret everything. So make yourself practice the other way as if you're a man. And you don't have to have sex surgery or anything. Okay? Okay. We're in a right-hand lady line. Okay? Ambidextrously, I'm going to do the one we just did. Instead of having the boys extend, I'm going to have what? Girls extend. Girls extend. Left swing through. Center girls trade. Center girl run. New center girl hinge. Okay? Now, I can see that I'm pretty close to the corner. Here's this guy. Here's this guy. This is my module. What's my get out? Before I had the girl do what? Slide apart. I'm not going to do that. That was the get out from that setup. And that was from a corner or from a zero line. This? No, I don't prefer that. Okay, she's got a great idea here. She said you could do wrong way grand, but Ed will probably mess this up because his left hand is closest to her. Head men, face left, a quarter. Everyone, reach out. Do a right and left grand, wrong way. Don't do it. Do you see that? She came up with that on her own. Go ahead and face back in, head men. My get out is this. Girls diamond circulate, and everybody start looking for your corner, Alaman left. That's my get out. Write your own get outs. Use the module, and you don't have to use that module. You can use any module you want to. Now, depending on what degree of difficulty you want to put into it, you really have to make a good judgment. This is way beyond the mainstream plus type people stuff I'm going to call for you, but it uses the module. So watch what happens. Heads, I have purposely put them in a particular place, okay? Heads do a right and left through. Sides lead to the right, circle to a line, side gent break. So I'm pretty well out of sequence. I still have my partner. Boxed the gnat. I have purposely now got a zero line. Everyone's in sequence. Everyone has partner. They're half psi shade. So this is called big Z, big L, half. That means half psi shade. Okay? If I've had a little O at the end of it, those of you that take a lot of note services, what's the little O stand for? Out of sequence. Doesn't stand for opposite lady. A lot of people say, oh, that's opposite lady. No, that stands for out of sequence. So here's my get out now, okay? I'm going to have the boys do the module. Boys extend. My module is left swing through, centers trade. You didn't finish your left swing through, so you owe me another centers trade, Jim. Good. See, I told you it's already beyond a lot of people's comprehension here. Center two boys, run. What do the new centers do on this module? Hinge. Do that, center boys. I'm almost at the point now. This is my get out. I've done my module. My get out is this. The girls working through the diamond of men, square through two. Okay? Ignore the head ladies. Who are the head ladies? Raise your hand so everybody can see the head ladies. Do not move, head ladies. The other 6 have a 6-sided irregular polygon that looks like a hex. That sounds cool, don't it? Are they ever going to make that? Nah, not if you don't help them. Look at the other 6. They're on a diagonal, aren't they? Follow someone's back, and those 6 circulate your irregular polygon twice. Twice. Go twice. Perfect. Okay? Then I got to figure out what to do after that. The rest of my get out is this. Oh, can you go back? I left off something. 1. Good. Boys, you see your diamond? I needed to do a diamond circulate. So that's where my get out starts after I did my module. That wasn't part of the module. Boys, diamond circulate. Ignore the head girls. Raise your hand, head girls. Do not move. The other 6 diagonally circulate twice. Once, twice. Center girls should have their hands connected because it's a irregular polygon. Who are the heads? Raise your hand, heads. See the other heads working through the diamond? Partner trade. Go through there, partner trade, and roll. Sides, you have a diamond. See it? Cut your diamond, slide in and trade, center boy. Bend the line sides. Can I have a glory? I didn't just come up with that. I had to push checkers around. I had to make the right judgment. I might only call that once every 3 months. But I got my module that I used and incorporated into the get out. Question. Back here in the back. We need to put you on the microphone, sir.
Just curious, Randy, where would you call that?
To the best group I could ever find. And I usually tell them if they make it, you're the best group I've ever called for. I do a Wednesday night dance in the Valley, or Wednesday morning dance. It's called Wacky Wednesday. The dancers, the more wacky I get, the better they like it. They don't want anything plain vanilla. They want everything asymmetrical, upside down, backwards, wrong way. They only like it if I can get them through it. They don't like it if they break down. So it's really a tightrope that you're walking. This is like stuff that I use overseas commonly because the Czech dancers, the German dancers, the Swedish dancers, in Japan I use this. Even when I say all of that stuff, they all go, I don't understand 6-sided polygon, hexagon, irregular. If I want to do it, I have my right-hand man here. Tak gets up and he describes that in Japanese. And usually I just say, find a back. They know what back is. And I've called that in Japan just last October in an advance hall and got most of them through it. When I say most, if I get 80%, that's a passing grade for me. I'd like to have 95%. You know, Jerry Junk doesn't call anything that he doesn't get 95% through. I'm a much tougher grader than he is. Okay, when I was school teaching, if you didn't get 70%, that was below the C average. I want A's and B's. Okay? And I've got some other get-outs, but there's modules on there. This is the other highlighted module, and it's got a particular set of calls, and again, it's kind of in a situation for using good judgment. How much time we got left, guys? What is it? Is it 10:30 that we break? 10:15. Ooh, like 2 minutes left, huh? That's not good. Okay. This is that second big module, and it's in the bold print. The module is pass through, wheel and deal, girls zoom, and the center spread. That's a module. I'm going to incorporate it in different places, okay? Get me a zero line as quick as you can. Bend the line. I don't like that one. Is it still a zero line? Yeah. You like better on the outside? Picky, picky, picky. Okay. On the page 5, it says examples using module 2. I'm in a zero line. I'm going to use module 2. So I can't say pass through and tag the line. That's the beginning of the get out. What's the module? Pass through, wheel and deal, girls only, zoom, center, spread way apart, the others crowd in. There's my module. That's what I've memorized up here. I know my get out, okay? The get out says here, pass through, tag the line, track 2, and everyone should have their original partner. I can say slip the clutch to the corner, or I could say some other get out, okay? Or I can go, cross the street and all kinds of other goodies. Let's have you recycle, sweep a quarter. I just went to a what? A line with their partner, in or out of sequence? Out of sequence, okay? Pass through, bend the line. I just went to a zero line. They're what? In sequence. I'm going to convert. I don't want the zero line. I want a zero box looking at the corner. I'm going to do the ambidextrous one. Left touch a quarter. Circulate. Ladies run. Scream at your corner. Alaman left. Promenade home. You'll never get the dancers bored with all of the equivalents and zeros, modules that you can put into your calling. Okay? And I have a whole bunch of more there. We just did zero line. Let's go to corner line. 4 ladies chain 3/4. And sides lead to the left. And veer to the right. Bend the line. Are they in or out? They're out. Do a right and a left through. Are they in? Yep. I'm ready for, on page 5, number 2, we have a corner line. I want to do the module. The module is this. Pass through, wheel and deal, girl zoom, center spread. I'm ready for my get out. The get out is pass through, partner trade. I had to use good judgment because if they can't partner trade with same sex, you're going to lose the whole floor. Pass through, but these are exceptionally well dancers here that we have. Okay. The get out is 3/4 tag the line. I'm not sure they're going to make 3/4 tag. They might have a better chance of doing half tag. Where's the center? Half tag. I want to really be thinking I'm calling 3/4 tag, so now just after the half tag, you just what? Extend the tag and a right and a left grand. Are you home? Okay. Number 3 there, using that module 2, is a right-hand lady line. 4 ladies chain 1/4. Get your right-hand lady line as quick as you can. These guys are fast. I say use module 2. We're on number 3 here. Module 2. Pretty soon the dancers are saying, I'm getting used to this girl zoom and the girls spread. Do it ambidextrously or half sachet them, and man, it's a whole new ballgame for them. And everything pretty well will work out, okay? So we're in a right-hand lady. I'm going to do module 2, pass through, wheel and deal, girl zoom, center spread, pass through. Now I'm on my get out. Partner trade, pass through, half tag. Who do they all have? They're opposites. They all have opposites. All 8 circulate. Oh, you didn't have opposites. You had right-hand ladies. So if they had the right-hand ladies, they must now have who? Corners. Okay, and then the last get out there is extend for a right and left grand, but this is missing that, isn't it? Pass through, partner, pass through. Yeah. All right, everybody do extend and square your set. So number 3, I think, needs a extend the tag after the all 8 circulate. Okay? The last one there, number 4, we're going to do an opposite lady line. Head, step to the middle, face your corner. I'm going there a different way. Okay? Step to a wave. All 8 circulate. Swing through. In circulate, centers trade. What's that called? No, what's the name of the module? The module is the magic module. I'm not done with the magic module yet. Boy, run. Bend the line. I'm in sequence. Everyone's got opposite lady. Is that what I'm looking for? That's what it says. It says use module 2. Pass through. Wheel and deal. These guys are getting good at this. Girls zoom. Center spread. Pass through. Partner trade. Pass through. Tag the line. Leaders trade. It's a high-risk movement, but I'm going for it. Do a right and left through. Girls use muscle and force. Turn the boy. Then it says right and left grand. That looks like it's got a misprint in it too. I need to say square through and on the what? Third hand. Square through on the third hand. Do a right and left grand. Don't worry about trying to make corrections to this. You'll be, listening to this on your tape and you can make corrections then. And my secretary, I don't pay her enough, I guess. Or the guy that checked it for typos is really bad. All right, so what I'm saying is, by using the modules that you have and using ambidextrous, using half-size shade, you've doubled, tripled, quadrupled all of your get-outs, and with shorter memory, okay? So if I was doing that half-size shade, pick out one that you like, get a zero line, half-size shade, pass through, I'm doing my module, wheel and deal, but instead of having the girls zoom, I'm going to have the boys zoom, center spread, pass through, half tag, act excited, turn through, find Ethel, Alaman left. Do you see that, gang? Okay. I don't have any time for questions. I hope that you'll get the MP3 thing. Cal, I'll let you make a comment. Cal, by the way, has on his website about 3 volumes of any encyclopedia set that you'll have of get-outs and get-ins.
We've also started Cal Campbell. We've also started a discussion group. I started it 3 weeks ago on Google, and it's all about modules. I went from 1 to 60 in 1 week, and we've got all kinds of discussions going on. If you want to talk about it, we're going to have a Birds of Feather meeting tonight, 5:15 Bellamy Room.
Great. When we were doing caller schools across the country now, I almost tell people, don't learn how to sight call, not in the beginning. This is the way that most callers were taught when I was going through a caller school. And I had mentors that were Ken Bauer and Dave Lightly and Bob Urington, all of those guys. This is the way they told me how to call, was modules, equivalents, and zeros. And you can put a lot of choreography out there for the dancers and disguise it all the time. They don't realize what's going on. And you have complete control. Well, yeah, I agree. But like I said, just do a module that you can, don't make it a 6-7 call module. Don't make your get out 6 or 7 calls long. You want to have a short module, at the most maybe 4 or 5 calls, and your get out should be within 2 or 3 calls. Not only, yeah, and again, a little studying will go a long ways. Doesn't take a lot of memory. Thank you, gang. Appreciate you showing up. Thank you to our dancers. If you didn't get a handout, we still have some up here, I think. Okay. Don't forget that Birds of a Feather this evening, 5:30.